strawberry love bugs. Hello, 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 and welcome back to Strawberry Patch ASMR. I am so happy to be back with you, back with you. Today is going to be a very fun and special video because I'm going to discuss my autism diagnosis with you as well as a little get to know me. We have lots of new subscribers in the patch and I'm so happy you're all here. But I thought it would be nice to get to know me just a bit. Get to know me just a bit. It's been highly requested that I talk about my diagnosis just a little bit as a late diagnosed autistic woman. So I also will be sharing some traits of autism in women and girls as well, just to see maybe if you relate. Of course, we're also going to check out the fit, the makeup, the hair, and we're going to do some stimming, and I have a whole bunch of fidgets, so lots of little fidgets, and I have some Jelly Blox for us to play with. So we'll be taking a couple of fidgety breaks. So it's going to be rambly and tingly and hopefully comforting and relatable and all of the things that I love about being in the patch. Okay, let's get into this outfit, this makeup. Okay, let me get up a little closer. I did not wear my wig today because it was not that kind of day. I was too tired. I was like, I can't have any sensory anything right now. So we're just doing the black hair today, but I am considering re-dyeing it red, so we'll see. I might need to use color oops first. So anyways, thoughts on that? Comment down below and let me know if I should change it back to red. I don't know, I can be so indecisive sometimes. I am trying to grow it out. Right now it's just in like a little bun, and I did some braids on the side. Some braids. Do a braid. And a braid here. And a braid here. Perfect. Okay, so I used my Hello Kitty palette and I did like a gold and then the strawberry shortcake shade. I used the gold as a highlighter, which I love to do, and of course freckles, and my eyeliner and mascara, and then for my lips I used the Sunblock Glass Broad Spectrum SPF 25, and I love this star. I have showed this before, but it's amazing and I love it. It also has like a yummy smell too, and protects you from the sun, so win-win. Okay, the earrings are fun. So much fun. Okay, the earrings, we have balloon dogs. Ignore my headphones, but balloon dogs. These are one of my favorite pairs. I love these so much. And stars. Balloon dogs and stars. Balloon dogs and stars. My necklace. A bauble. Some baubles. And some words. Clickety-clack. wedding ring, if it'll focus, Irish ring, pink ring, heart ring, Disney ring, blue ring. These are the rings I normally wear. I don't know, I am a girl of habit when it comes to my rings, I suppose, but I do have a few others, but I wear these most often. So, okay, and we're going to be playing with all of our little fidgets, but look how cute this sweater is. It's got purple and orange and light pink, purple and orange and light pink. And in the end, we'll read a little bit of Junie B. Jones, Junie B. I think we are on chapter 5. Okay, this is like a long, skinny one. The clear one. And again, if you have questions about anything, please feel free to comment, and I will do my best to answer. Little plastic blue stars. Plastic blue stars. See, these have like the sand in them, like the kinetic sand. Stack them. I like the sticky sound. These have like small little beads. Julie, 1, 2, 3, Julie. 1, 2, 3, Julie, 1, 2. Okay, so for me, I had literally most of these. You might be more apathetic or more empathetic, and it's a spectrum. So a lot of times we have higher support needs in certain areas and lower support needs in other areas, which also I took a long time to kind of fully understand. Also, drop any question you have below and I'll do my best to answer it, okay? But social and communication, masking or camouflaging to fit in. Me, for sure. Feeling exhausted after social interaction. Being perceived as quiet, shy, or reserved. Somewhat for me. Studying social roles instead of intuitively knowing them. Replaying conversations afterward. Oh my god, I do that so bad. Nowadays, I do it so bad. I do all these. Difficulty with small talk, but enjoying deep conversations. So when I find someone else, especially if they're neurodivergent too, and we go super deep into deep topics, I'm like all in. But I hate small talk, it's the worst. Feeling different from peers from a young age. Yes. Strong sense of fairness or justice. Emotional and internal experience. Feeling emotions very deeply. I'm just gonna kind of nod whenever I also experience these so I don't have to like point it out. Difficulty identifying or explaining emotions. Strong empathy, sometimes to the point of total overwhelm. Emotional shutdowns rather than outward meltdowns. So I had both growing up. I actually have both now as well. I have the internal shutdowns and the outward meltdowns. I just used to think that the meltdowns were panic attacks, and oversensitive, needing extra time to process feelings, 100%, feeling overwhelmed easily but hiding it, sensory sensitivity, like that is a STEM, sensitivity, to noise, lights, textures, or smells, being bothered by clothing seams, tags, or fabrics, strong preference for certain textures or materials, sensory overwhelm in busy environments, needing quiet, dim, or calm spaces to regulate, seeking comforting sensory input, soft, weighted, or repetitive. Okay, we have stimming and regulation, subtle or social acceptable stims like hair twirling, nail tapping, or rocking gently, needing movement or repetition to regulate, stimming more when emotional or tired, suppressing stims in public and releasing them later, using routines or rituals for comfort, big on that one, repetitive behaviors that feel calming, yes, routines and predictability, strong preference for routines or sameness, anxiety when plans change unexpectedly, yes, creating mental scripts for situations, heck yes, comfort in predictable schedules, needing time to mentally prepare for transitions, feeling unsettled when routines are disrupted. Check. Special interests, deep interest in specific topics, interests that are very intense, rotating them over time. So when I was younger, I had lots of different interests for like over a short period of time, but I kept changing them as I was younger. Finding joy and safety and interests. Okay, a few more. Executive function and energy, difficulty starting tasks, task paralysis, trouble with time management, forgetting basic needs when focused. That's a big one. I literally forget to eat, drink, taking care of myself. I literally have to be reminded, oh yeah, I need to go do this or do this to take care of myself. Like I need to go to the bathroom or I need to go drink some water. Yes, I usually don't notice that I'm hungry or thirsty until I have a headache, and then I'm like, oh, maybe that's why. Let's see. Burnout from keeping up appearances, needing more rest than others, fluctuating energy levels, doing well in structured environments, but often struggling alone, feeling like you don't fit typical gender expectations, being told you're mature for your age as a child, late diagnosis or self-realization, feeling relief when learning about autism, a lifelong sense of being different, grieving missed support after diagnosis. That's why I'm here. So I hope that that list was helpful in just understanding maybe yourself. Another thing I thought of is sometimes I have like selective non-verbal moments where I get so upset I feel like I can't form words, and I feel like everything is scrambled and I like cannot think straight. Of course, I have a lot of dissociation or derealization as well, which is why I try to bring you guys back from dissociating. You. Back. Definitely come back on Monday because I'm going to be doing some bad thoughts pulling and probably snipping and some different things I'm going to say to help you with OCD or bad thoughts or repetitive thoughts or ruminating thoughts. So come back. Just a reminder, you are perfect just the way you are. Your brain is perfect just the way you are. I believe you even if no one else does. I am here for you. You are not alone. You are worth it to this world, and you are worth it to me. And there's our little ways you can accommodate yourself little community that we've built. Everybody is very accommodating and encouraging here. Also, my videos are amazing for sleep and anxiety relief, so even if you aren't neurodivergent, you're so welcome here, as long as you're kind and accepting to everyone around you. My goal has always been to help people. I am a very empathetic autistic, so I feel very deeply for everyone, including a lot of you guys that I've never met or seen in real life, but I love and care very deeply. My whole reason for wanting to start this channel was to help others, to relate to others, to not feel so alone. I wanted to talk about being autistic and have it not be this big scary thing. I wanted to talk about stimming and have it not be a scary thing, because it is our normal world that we live every single day, and it's something that needs to be talked about. So I also have a few chronic illnesses. I don't want to go into detail about all of them, but endometriosis, migraine. So I feel like I'm compiling diagnoses a lot, but that's because autism and ADHD is often connected to a lot of chronic illnesses. Some people who don't know my channel, they don't understand why I'm not like looking directly at them, but that's because I prefer not to do direct eye contact. It helps most of my neurodivergent users feel comfortable, because direct contact's really hard for me anyways. I have a really hard time looking at like the viewfinder. So yes, because I am an autistic, I will not be doing a lot of direct eye contact on my videos. Also, look at this guy. He's a gummy bear. Gummy bear, gummy bear, gummy bear. I am almost 29. I'll be 29 in February. I am married. I've been married for, I think, 7 years. 7 years. And I have 3 kiddos. Not 1 to 2, but 3. A boy, a girl, and then a boy. And one of them is diagnosed autistic, and the other 2 we're just not sure yet. So giving them time. But my oldest is diagnosed autistic. His story is kind of where all of this started and all of this began, to be quite honest. But before we go into that, hold on, I'm gonna switch gummy bears. Okay, so we have the green one. Here are the sticky. They're sticky. Okay, this one is the purple one. They're kind of stretchy, which I like. Some of my special interests are Pooh Bear and Hello Kitty and strawberries, of course. I also just love that dopamine fashion, so just dressing and wearing whatever makes me happy, which, by the way, took me years to figure out, and a lot of unmasking. I can talk about some of these words too, being, unmasking, stimming, those kind of things. But I love dressing the way that it makes me happy, doing my makeup and hair the way that it makes me happy. But that was a long time coming. I did a lot to just kind of fit in for a while. So that's another thing. I love to do art. I love to draw. I have a bachelor's degree in art administration, actually. So I did a lot of art in college, and art for me is so super fun. I'm hoping to hopefully have some merchandise that I can sell. So like Strawberry Patch on t-shirts and things like that. So there's exciting things ahead. I'm gonna shake it out for a minute. I feel like I can't keep up with my thoughts today. So we're gonna take a little shaky break. So this is an example of stimming, and stimming is like a repetitive action that one might do over and over, particularly neurodivergents, to help regulate or calm themselves in a situation where they just feel like they need to. So right now I'm doing it because I feel a little anxious and I can't like regulate my brain into how I want to form my thoughts. My thoughts feel crazy right now. They're like spaghetti. They're all random and swirly, and I feel like I can't because I'm so empathetic, I do care what people think, even though that's, that's hard. But so you can stem with me really quick. We can do a little stem break. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. ABC, 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 ABC. You are okay just the way you are. You are okay just the way you are. Okay, Strawberry Patch, let's get it together. Get it together, get it together, get it together. Alright, so we're gonna jump ahead a little bit. Okay, I said I love art. Pooh Bears, Pooh Bear, Hello Kitty, miniatures. I love miniatures. I love fairies. I love coloring. I do have what one would call childlike interests, and I do have periods of time where I feel as though I age regress some and need to really be taken care of, which is where my husband is so amazing in that aspect. But I do have a lot of hard time sometimes making choices, making phone calls, filling out certain documents, and that's where having a support person is very important when you're autistic, because sometimes things are really hard to complete, and I have a very hard time with some of those things. Driving, parking, going into social places, sensory issues. So I need my support person a lot of the time, which happens to be my husband, but yours could be a friend or a spouse or somebody, your mom or a sister, really anyone who understands you and what you can handle and your triggers and things like that. So he's amazing. But I definitely feel that my autism is a disability and that there are certain things that I simply cannot do, and if I try to do them, it will put me into a meltdown or shutdown. So we talked about what stimming was. That's right, repetitive actions that calm us down. So I do a lot of stimming on my videos, one, to normalize it, two, because a lot of people feel like they can't stim in public, and I want people to always feel like they can stim with me when they're relaxing, really anytime. So I try to provide a lot of anxiety relief, meltdown relief, recovery relief, stuff like that, as well as talking about chronic illness, chronic pain, chronic fatigue, and things like that. So when I was a kid, I was born in 97, so late 90s. Girls didn't really get diagnosed with autism as often. It was mostly boys, and a lot of people saw autism as more maybe level 3, or those who couldn't talk at all or struggled to do certain things for themselves. And that wasn't the case for me. I was able to do certain things. However, I struggled in a lot of aspects that were not seen back then as autistic that are seen as autistic now. For example, I was known as the sensitive kid, so I was sensitive about absolutely everything. I cried often and would have these big, I didn't know they were autistic meltdowns at the time, but outbursts, I guess you could say, where I would either get really mad or just really upset and not be able to regulate. And I would cry so hard, I would throw up. So I was so unregulated that I would actually throw up, which is something that my son started doing before he was diagnosed. Anytime he would cry, even if it was like not over anything big, he would cry so hard he couldn't calm down, and then would sometimes throw up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I did that as a kid. So a lot of times when you have a child who is autistic, or you start to see things in them and you're wanting to get them tested, you're like, wait a second, they're basically me, they're doing the same things that I'm doing. So I've always had sensory issues with tags or things of that nature, lights and sounds. I've always been so overwhelmed by things like that. I've always been a big observer. I watch everything and I mimic everything. So growing up, I would look and see what other people were doing, and then I would mimic those behaviors. So a lot of times that can be what masking is, where if you're looking at someone and mimicking their behaviors, you're masking. Okay, I have this big box. and then my emotions would pile. And so, because I did not know how to deal with things, I pushed everything down, and I didn't really know what I was feeling a lot of the time. So that can be very common, is not really understanding what you're really feeling in the first place. So I struggled a lot with that, but I also was very affected by other people's feelings, so that's where my empathy comes in. Back in the day, I say back in the day, but when I was a kid, most autism was seen as an apathetic personality versus an empathetic personality. I am on, but usually it's like high ranges. I am extremely empathetic, which I have shared on some of my channel before, but I'm on like the crazy end of that spectrum, where I read something about someone else's life on Facebook and I will start crying and being upset because I put myself in their shoes, feel what they're feeling, and almost go through it with them and feel those emotions and connect to it. And I always come back with a story of my own, not to put the attention on myself, but to relate to them and empathize with them and let them know I know what you're feeling. I know exactly what you're talking about. So, movies and TV shows, things like that, I would either get in a meltdown or something over something that wasn't even like real. Also, movies and shows still to this day, I don't know how to really explain this, but they cause me anxiety in a way where I need it to be okay. Like, I need everything to work out, and even though I know it's gonna work out, I need to get to that point where it works out. I have like this like tightness inside of me, and I get really anxious when I feel like something is going bad or wrong, and I need all these pieces to fit together so that things work out. And I don't even know if I'm explaining that good, but anyways. I also have always been stemming since I was little. I just didn't know I was stemming, but I've always twirled my hair, and when I was younger, like 4 or 5, I used to twirl my hair so bad. I would knot it and then pull it because it would get stuck in a knot and I'd have to like pull it out. Anyways, that's some vulnerable storytelling right there. But I twirled my hair really bad when I was nervous and anxious, and that was just one of my stems, and it's still one of my stems. I just have learned how to curl it without knotting it. But one of my special interests has always been baby dolls and babies in general, and that has been since I was little. So I always had baby dolls, and I did some imaginative play with them, but what I really love to do is dress them and stage them and set them up. With my dollhouse, I love to set and stage and set up the furniture and set everything in its right place and order. When I was playing, I always wanted to control the game. I always wanted to be the one that was like, this is what we're doing. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. Because I think it was the anxiety. I wanted to know what was coming. I have a really hard time with routine changes. I always have. So, another fact about me, I'm allergic to all nuts and dairy, so lots of allergies as well as lots of sensitivities and eczema, all the skin things. But let's see. What else? I know I'm missing certain things, so I do have some stuff on my little iPad that I'm gonna bring up, but so as I was growing up, I started having what I thought were panic attacks as I got older. I also was very easily manipulated, and that led to some trauma in high school that I'm not going to talk about today. But that to say, I was very easily manipulated and very gullible, unfortunately, and I got myself into some pretty bad situations in high school. So I also did not understand myself at all. I didn't know I was autistic, so until I was an adult. So this whole time I was very confused. So I say one of the biggest things, knowledge is power. Understanding yourself myself. I didn't know who I was, what I liked. I realized at that point that I was just saying what I liked based on what other people liked. Other people around me, like, oh, you like that? Okay, I guess I like that too. I did not know who I was, okay? And I also was really struggling as a mom. I was extremely overstimulated. I was struggling really bad with my mental health. And I was like, something's wrong with me, but I don't understand what is wrong with me. Also, I love this thing because it's very clickety and clackety and clickety and clackety. So, as I was getting him diagnosed, that was my light bulb moment, as maybe I should get some help and see someone and figure out why I'm having so many panic attacks, because they continued as a mom. They were autistic meltdowns, I just didn't know. So, fast forward a little bit. I got diagnosed with a psychiatrist through a telehealth situation over 3 sessions, and we came to the conclusion, she's like, yeah, you're autistic. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was the biggest aha moment of my entire lifetime. And I began to truly understand myself, and I did a lot of research, and I started the process of unmasking. So a lot of people don't really understand that, but when you're masking, you're trying so hard to be like other people, please other people. You're not doing things to regulate yourself, even though you need to. So you're maybe pretending, meltdown, pretending, meltdown, masking, meltdown, masking, meltdown. That makes sense. So that is what I was doing. Orange, blue, pink, dark blue. So I began the process of unmasking after I got diagnosed, because I was like, oh my god, I understand who I am now. And I was like, wait, do I like that or do I not like that? So I literally discovered myself as an adult after I had my kids, which is kind of crazy to me. But it all made sense. Even all of my medical diagnoses, all of the things I went through in high school, the way that I always felt different, I always felt like the one out, never understood any of the jokes. I'm such a literal thinker. I never understood sarcasm. I was always just like, yeah, so funny. Like, I pretended around everyone to get through life, which, by the way, is extremely exhausting and draining, and my self-esteem and everything was just in the toilet because I was not accommodating myself at all. So I started outwardly stimming more and realizing how it helped, because I was still doing those kind of inside stems, and I needed to just let it out. And I started dressing how I wanted, which I know that's hard, because if you are a people pleaser, you do care what people think. I just started being like, you know what makes me happy? What do I want to be like? And there were some people that were like, Strawberry Patch, what's going on? Like, you've changed. Like, there were certain people in my life that they didn't understand why I was all of a sudden maybe a little bit more quirky than I was before. And I'm like, no, wait, you don't understand. I'm me now. Like, I'm gonna get emotional, but I had masked for so many years. I was physically ill, and the amount of meltdowns that I was having was such an unhealthy level. I was so unhappy because I didn't know who I was. I had been living and trying to be like other people and mimicking other people's facial expressions and all of these things for so long. And I was like, oh, is this why I have childlike interests? Is this why I have special interests with things? Is this why I need someone to take care of me? Is this why the anxiety is so bad and debilitating? And nothing I would do, no amount of therapy, no amount of anything, would make any of this go away. When you're autistic, you don't just stop being autistic when you're an adult, which is part of why I created this channel, because there's a lot of us out there that are autistic or neurodivergent adults that aren't being accommodated, who aren't accommodating themselves, who maybe haven't been diagnosed yet, or living in the dark. I don't sometimes instead of doing healthy stims like I should, sometimes I get too upset and I just can't. So those of you who do that, I understand, okay? All of this was life-changing for me. So anyways, that is my diagnosis story. I started to unmask and it's been a beautiful journey. At first I didn't understand what that meant. I'm like, what do you mean unmask? Like, I don't get that. But it's taking time to accommodate yourself. So if playing with things like this, like if this kind of thing calms you down and regulates you, don't shy away from it. If watching ASMR makes you happy, watch ASMR. If saying things in random accents or stimming, then stim away, okay? Because I stim away and I also vocally stim, so I repeat things, I say things like repetitively, or I know there's a word for it, echolalia. I don't know if I say it right, but I do that a lot, and so does my son. But there are so many different ways that we can accommodate ourselves. Okay, so I am so happy to have you here. You deserve to be yourself, not be ashamed for who you are. Have someone actually believe you. It is so impossible these days to get a diagnosis for anything. And then there's the whole craziness about how a lot of my chronic illnesses are most likely because I'm autistic as well. And that connection also blows my mind. And then you start looking at your family members and the genetic component, and you're like, whoa, like that's insane. So also, me being diagnosed has helped me be a better mom, a better parent. I'm better for my kids. I've gotten help. Like, I have certain medicine that I take that helps me every day. I am so pro with taking your meds because those meds have changed me for the better. I'm able a little bit more to breathe and kind of, okay, I'm getting upset, vocalize it. I used to just keep it all inside, and now I'll look at my kids and be like, I'm overstimulated right now. I gotta stim right now, and they know what that means. Don't be afraid to show your kids that you struggle too, because they're also struggling, and they need to know, you know what, when they grow up, they might have the same things they're struggling with, and that's okay, okay? I'm an adult with childlike interests and autism, and my kids are most likely all neurodivergent, but we all can be there for each other in different ways. And yes, I have crash out moments, and yes, I get so overstimulated I fall to the floor and start crying, but my kids understand because I've explained it to them. Knowledge is power when it comes to any of these things, okay? Understanding yourself is powerful. Believing in yourself and understanding how your brain works is powerful. And finding someone who loves you for exactly who you are is also powerful. So, all that to say, that was my little diagnosis story. Okay, let's play with some more of these fidgets. these a few times on my channel, but they're a little slow rise. And I adore these. These are like the perfect size for your palm. A little birdie, and this one's like a little hamster. I love bringing these out because these make me so happy. Like how they slowly come back up. Okay, let's see what else we got. A bunny and a bee, a bunny and a bumblebee, a bunny and a bumblebee. A bunny and a bumblebee. A bunny and a bumblebee, a bunny and a bumblebee, a bumblebee, a bumblebee, a bunny and a bumblebee. I highly recommend these. They are the perfect size. Just beware if you have cats. Your cats will love these and will chase after them and think they're like little mice or something. My cats adore these things. But besides the point, and my kids love them too. But I got a box full of them so I can share. Oh my god, this is a baby koala. A baby koala. I love them, a penguin. My husband, this morning when he was leaving for work, he was like, "You're my penguin." And it made me so happy because penguins mate for life. So it was very sweet and very cute. And I was like, ee, because it was just really sweet. Okay, I think I'm gonna give you some. So let's see. Oh, there's a little puppy dog. Let's see. Some of you have said dogs are your favorite special interest. So some doggies. This is a corgi, I think. Or no. Yeah, a corgi. But why is it holding an acorn? That's my question. I don't know. Okay, we are going to read Junie B. Shows. Glasses tapping. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Glasses tapping. Alright. I think we're on chapter 5. Chapter 5 is titled Eliminate. After school, Mr. Scary called Mother at her work, and he told her that I got disappointed about the tournament. That's how come for dinner that night, Mother made my favorite meal of biscotti and meatballs. Plus, she and Daddy tried to be extra nice to me. I know you're upset about not being in the kickball game, Mother said, but everyone has disappointments in life, honey. I was still in a bad mood. I hate disappointments. I hate them, I said. Daddy patted me. Yes, well, we all hate being disappointed, Junie B, he said. But Mr. Scary said you can still do something fun in the tournament. I did a mad breath. I hate that dumb tournament. I hate it, I said. Daddy squinted his eyes at me. He said to please stop saying hate.